She's a runner. She's a track star. Y'all, we back in the building, and we got to talk a little bit more mess from yesterday's episode. Well, really Sunday's episode, but you know the fallout then occurs on Monday. So since it's Tuesday, we got to get back to Monday. And this came out after we did our recap for yesterday's video. If you haven't seen the recap for Sunday's video, definitely go back and watch it. It is definitely a key. Okay. Sky Squad, we're back in the building and we're talking about Angela Oakley. So she is responding to what Shamia said yesterday. If you did not see what Shamia said, don't worry. We're going to go back over it and we've got some other tea to talk about as well. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Y'all, Angela says, "Hey, track star. I once considered you a friend." And I'm thinking to myself, when? I didn't even know who she was talking about at first, because from the beginning of this show, we really kind of seen Shamia and Angela mostly at odds, right? So I'm like, when did you consider her a friend? But anyway, she says, my silence last night was grace. Here's the difference. My husband married a baller. You chase ballers. We are not the same. By the way, you have mentioned Charles more than all the girls combined. It's getting weird. Okay. So this is as a result of their argument from the other night. You can hear as you heard Angela state, you're a lapdog with lipstick. You want to be like Candy and Portia because you don't have an identity of your own. It is your husband who looks like a Sasquatch, not me. You are out in the streets. The men pay, not your job. And in the coming episode, in the preview, she says that Shamia is allegedly sleeping with Atlanta Hawks and Falcons players, for which she doubles down in her confessional, saying she heard it from a source that she feels like is highly credible. I don't know if it's the same source that Portia heard about Kelly's Nigerian married pastor who is a client of Phaedra's, or if she heard it from the same person that told K. Michelle that the girls were plotting and scheming to take her down with a sinister plot crafted and curated particularly from her to tell the world about an alleged stinky kitty and some long tail toes. Just to catch you guys up, okay? So Shamia had said this in response to the episode where in the episode, it did look like she walked out. I mean, we saw her walk out of the restaurante. But here's what Shamia says actually happened. She says, having the last name Oakley and saying I slept with players to get ahead is diabolical, Angela Oakley. How many players did you have to smash before one wiped you? Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, he claimed to have been intoxicated while doing so. Please don't let these people gas you up. You and I both know I didn't run from you on last night's episode. I was asked to leave because the conversation wasn't going anywhere. There's always more than what y'all see. Hashtag reunion is coming and hashtag I won't be silenced. So, Shamia, I would love for you to go down to your YouTube channel and I would love for you to explain to the people how the reality TV of it all works, or how it can work, right? How it can work is this. Do I believe that she was asked to leave because the conversation wasn't going anywhere? I do. Somebody has to. Okay, so they could have either ended the scene randomly or to make it even better, which they did. You could say, okay, so one of y'all, I mean, this is not going anywhere. We're in a restaurant. Like, it's just going to devolve from here. And you guys are just hurling insults at each other. And we need to wrap this up. Then what they did was they actually got some ITMs, which are in the moment confessionals, which I thought were pretty. I mean, I love that they did that because I thought that that added something to the scene. So for me, I do believe Shamia in this instant that she was asked to leave because it's not going anywhere. And it was technically Angela's scene. If Angela was the one that called her there, it would have made less sense for Angela to leave because she is the one who initiated the meeting. And to be fair with Angela, Angela, it did seem, came to the sit down to perhaps do some damage control and maybe clear up their issues. But I felt like what we saw was Shamia kind of just like, I'm over you, right? And maybe that was it. Maybe we didn't see it in the way that it happened. But what we did see from our vantage point was what they aired, right? Which was Shamia kind of got a little saucy, okay, when talking about the discernment of it all. You need to use your discernment to sell some houses, right? And then we can see Angela, okay, that's where this is going. And then Angela gets revved up. All right. So looking at Angela's response, she says, "Hey, track star," mostly because I feel like Angela knows you're never going to be able to prove that you did not run from the scene. So I'm gonna go off what the people actually saw. You went running. She's a runner. She's a track star. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so there's that. Anyway, who won this little shade off right here? I just don't think that these two ladies will ever be friends. And not to be honest with you, I don't really even know what the issue really truly actually is. I think, to be honest with you, I think that they both just have issues with Portia. That's what I really think. And versus either one of them arguing with Portia, I think it's easier for them to argue with each other. Y'all could say, I mean, listen, y'all could say what you want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. That's I'm just telling you, want to see. All right. Cynthia, shout out to our friend. Oh, first of all, shout out to our friends over at the Bravo Shade Room for that post. And now shout out to our friends over at No Chaser TV for this. Now, this comes to us from Cynthia Bailey's podcast, Humble Brag, that she has with Crystal Kung Minkoff, who some of you guys may remember from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills about 2 seasons ago. And I like this podcast. I was unsure about the pairing at first because it seemed, well, I mean, we know that Cynthia doesn't necessarily live in LA and Crystal's in the Beverly Hills of it all. So the way they do it, though, I think it's great because Cynthia obviously can operate as she moves throughout. Cynthia's a woman of the world. You know what I'm saying? Cynthia can't be tamed. She can't be held back by one location, baby. Cynthia got to go see her European man. She got to go do this, film that commercial. She got to be in this show. She got to be in that show. She got to do all of the things. So Cynthia has to be on the go, and I'm not mad at it. Cynthia reveals that casting has already begun for Real Housewives of Atlanta season 18 and the reunion films in 2 weeks. Now, I had previously told you guys that I felt like the reunion was going to be filming because everybody keeps mentioning reunion. Portia has mentioned reunion. Shamia's mentioned reunion a couple of times. So I knew the reunion is definitely on the horizon. But to get the reunion, it feels soon, right? We're on episode 8. That means that the reunion is filming in 10 weeks. We'll be at episode 11. I guess that positions it at about the right time because they'll film it. Then we'll go in episodes 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe we'll get 16 episodes. Maybe. I don't know. I will have to see because, to be fair, I kind of feel like the season could be wrapping up pretty soon. So if we've got 2 weeks until reunion, that means it's going to be coming around the mountain pretty quickly. Okay. And it's going to be coming around the mountain pretty quickly. which leads me. I'm wondering how soon it's. I mean, how many episodes we're actually going to get. But here's the thing. What we do know is that the ladies are already casting for season 18. Now, Cynthia says this is not uncommon, that they typically do that. They are also casting for Beverly Hills, for which there is seemingly some interest there from production with regards to Crystal also coming back. And I'm telling you guys, these podcasts are a great point of leverage for housewives because it gives them a voice that is unfiltered from what we saw on the show. And we get an opportunity, like with Robin, to see and hear their perspectives in an unfiltered way. And fans also get a perspective as well. So a lot of people be clowning on these podcasts and stuff like that. And I tell y'all all the time, start your own podcast. Start your own channels. Start your own this. Start your own that. Start it now because it gives you a voice. Okay, it gives you a voice. Gives you an opportunity to build a community. It gives you an opportunity to build a fan base. It gives you an opportunity to generate revenue from your podcast, whether through affiliate sales, through sponsorships, through ad revenue. But y'all just won't listen. Okay, you think. Okay, let me not go down that road, but this is what I'm saying. This is what happens. So again, you saw it happen with Robin. I wouldn't be mad if I saw it with Crystal because I think she would come back with a different voice. We would hear something different from her because she knows now and she's been speaking regularly on this podcast rather bluntly about her experiences and what she sees happening in the Bravo landscape. So I'm not surprised by this. Now, the point that I want to make is, who do you guys want as cast for next season? Let me know your ideal cast in the chat down below. I mean, I know everybody, a lot of people are going to be saying, we want Nene back. We just want Nene back. Well, I don't know that we'll get that in the way that you are expecting maybe, but I do think that possibly we could see a door open for her to make an appearance in some way, shape, or form. It just depends on how this season, I think, turns out at the end. I don't know that everybody's going to come back next season. I wouldn't be surprised if at least 2 to 3 people were out and we ushered in 1 or 2 power players, maybe somebody from the past and maybe somebody new. That's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't be surprised. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below, and I will catch you all in the next video.